Thank you so much. This is the time for other people to speak for or against. Mr. Wallace, is this the time you would like to speak?
Yes, it sure is. And good afternoon, Cochise County Planning Commission. Thank you so much for what you're doing for our community. I'd actually like to address an issue that's pretty critical in importance, and that's the protection of private property rights in our country, in our counties, planning and zoning processes. Let's just take this one, for instance. Private property ownership, as you know, is a fundamental aspect of our liberty and of course, economic stability. Of course, not just being a legal right, but a cornerstone of the American way of life. To this end, I actually propose that you consider adopting a resolution titled Resolution to Protect Citizens' Property Rights. This resolution enshrines the principles that planning decisions must respect and prioritize private property ownership. Specifically, it affirms the following commitments. So this not only goes for this one, but also the next docket number as well. So first, it requires that any planning or zoning proposals that could negatively impact a property owner's rights or property value bring that owner directly into discussions and deliberations before any decisions are made. Transparency and involvement are key to fairness. Second, should a proposal proceed despite its impact, the resolution stipulates that the property owner must be compensated for any fair market losses. This ensures that individuals are not unfairly burdened by policies enacted for the broader community. And then last, the resolution mandates that no government officials, planners, or stakeholders may enter private property or planning purposes without the express written permission of the owner. This basic respect for personal boundaries reinforces the trust between citizens and their government. And so these provisions serve to balance the public interest with individual rights, ensuring that we protect what makes our community strong while respecting personal ownership and liberty. So I just urge you to maybe take this resolution, which I've actually emailed all three members of the County Board of Supervisors, this resolution. And so we need their buy-in as well. But take the resolution under serious consideration, and I'd be happy to discuss it further or provide additional context as needed. So by adopting this resolution, we reaffirm our commitment to the citizens we serve, ensuring their rights are respected and their trust is upheld. And so I'm sure that there is at least a little bit of language that reassures us of the rights of the citizens, the private property rights. But I do want to see the language, first of all, and also would love for you to get on board with the resolution. Thank you.
Thank you. The next item this evening is docket SU 24-20, Cochise Stronghold Guest Lodging. The applicant is Kathy Hunter Gregory. Are you present? Thank you very much. Mr. Taylor, your report, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Commissioners. This is the staff presentation for docket or SU 2420. This is a special use authorization request for guest lodging. The applicant is Kathleen Hunter Gregory. The property is located at 1155 South Cochise Stronghold Road. That would be parcel 119090004, and that parcel totals approximately 40 acres. The property is zoned RU4. The plan designates the property for rural use, and the growth area is growth area D, which would be rural areas. There is an established single-family residence on the property, and the applicant proposes to continue residential use and include a guest lodging component. To summarize factors in favor of approval, the request does comply with the applicable factors as stated. Factors not in favor, staff has received opposition from nearby property owners, both inside and outside the notification area. The applicant mailed letters to property owners within 900 feet on 21 October, did not receive any opposition. Staff executed the public notification process between 14 and 20 November, mailing notices, posting the property, and publishing a legal ad. This first graphic is an approximation of the notification area. Staff mailed 35 notices to property owners within 900 feet, receiving 7 responses in opposition, 2 in favor, and staff has received an additional 11 responses outside the notification area in opposition, which are represented on the next slide. So again, as a reference point, I believe it's, I can't remember the name of the road, slope. That's approximately 1 mile west of the property. Madam Chair and Commissioners, this concludes staff's presentation of docket SU 2420, a special use request for up to 5 guest lodging units. We are available for your questions.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor. This is the time for the applicant's statement. Ms. Gregory, you have 10 minutes. Please state your name and address before you begin. I'll let you say your name properly with your address before you speak.
Good evening. My name is Lissa Thornburg. The address is 1597 West San Xavier Trail, Cochise, Arizona 85606. We're writing to make our voices, hopefully one of many, to oppose this special use permit to make these 40 acres into a proposed glamping up to 6 guest lodging with tents, RVs, and cabins. Up until today, we have not seen any plans for any structures, and this proposal, the way we saw it, was way too vague and lacks exactly what is to be expected.
Last name, can you hear me? Ivanowski, address 1159 North Wild Eagle Place, Cochise, Arizona. I am a resident, as are the people here in opposition to this, all residents of the Dreamcatcher neighborhood. I've passed out a form for each of the supervisors to see that we have 40 homes on this area on Dreamcatcher. There's one way in and one way out.
3 North Slope a long way, Cochise, 85606. Okay. Not a very good speaker, so I'm just going to get right to the point. You know, the fact that this needs a special permit should in itself manifest itself. It does not belong here, okay? It's not zoned for it, and that's why it needs a special permit, okay?
Maintain our road, not the county. And I'm opposed to this. And it seems very sketchy to me.
Mr. Wallace on Teams, did you want to comment on this item?
Yes, I sure do. I just want to, I'm just amazed at the intelligence that has gone forth and how that there was opposition, and it does circle back to the wisdom of having the citizens' private property rights innate within the planning and zoning requirements within that process. And I mean, because the first item on there of the resolution would be it requires that any planning or zoning proposals that could negatively impact, right? And we heard a lot of negative impacts here that could negatively impact a property owner's rights or property value, bring that owner directly into discussions and deliberations before any decisions are made. And so I'm just thankful for the wisdom that is innate within some of those planning and zoning documents. This won't be the last time that you hear this. You may have, you most likely will have more people bringing this up until something is said about it, commented about it, and not ignored. And so we just want to thankful for people that stand up and that say, hey, you know, I would like for you not to do this. And I also want to thank you for giving me the platform to speak on this as well. But you're seeing right now why it is very important to include the owners, the residents in some of these decisions that are made. Somebody made the comment of special use. And how it had to have a special use. Is that even constitutional? Is that, I mean, just because something is in a law, you know, we're in a time and date where people are making unlawful laws and they're putting it into law. So really, it's mischief into law. But we are thankful that something can be done about this and will be done about it. So I do want to thank you, and I'll give the time back.
We have, in my experience, a rather large opposition to this tonight. Usually don't get that much. And I'm seeing that it has been articulate and well-informed opposition. And as with other cases we've had here, perhaps some discussion between you all might resolve some of these concerns. Yeah, it doesn't seem there's been much of that happening. But if you could, it might help.
A discussion between me and the
Conversations
neighbors?
with your neighbors about
I would be
proposals.
glad to. Yes.
Um,
I think it appears to me that a lot of the neighbors just didn't have all the information. There was no way for me to communicate that. We're just going through the process of the special use application. So I'm sorry that they did not have an opportunity to see the site plan. In fact, I would even invite any of my neighbors, if they wanted to come walk through the property, they're welcome to. We can be glad to do that.
I generally, as somebody who offered a resolution before this meeting or during the beginning, we are generally in favor of property rights in this country and endorse that a lot. But there is a boundary for all of those. And one of our mandates at this commission is to protect others on who have their own rights and property. So in this project, it seems interesting to me, and I would wish you well on it. But I think there are so many blanks or unanswered things about details that I'm a little bit troubled by some of it. So
Schulenbach?
So I owe an apology to the commission and to the staff because initially I was inclined to approve this with a couple of added conditions. And I'm at a point where I do not believe under any conditions I would approve it, just even based on the overwhelming objection of the neighbors. So I'm going to retract my original intent